The tree? Yeah, because these things are gonna go on top of it. It's gonna look like a diamond ring. Oh, okay. And stir that shake. Have a very We'll give him a 20. I don't know if you're actually in law. But I told Fred I used to work with Florida.
I believe so.
Buenas and welcome to Kandit. I'm Johnny Rosario.
And I'm Troy Torres.
It is October 19, 2019 on this lovely Saturday evening.
I think it's 68 days to Christmas or something like that.
Oh, yeah, because I just saw yesterday people doing a 69 and saying that it's a picture of people.
That was from Familia and Issa J. Rivera.
Yeah, it's
on Mariana's
someone
Dirty
doing a
Laundry.
69 and then it says till Christmas. 69 till Christmas. I thought that was funny as, you know. Please don't forget. We have 60 more followers to get to 1,000.
Oh, awesome. 10,000. Awesome.
I mean, 10,000. So thanks, guys. Please keep liking and sharing and having your family listen and watch Kandit. We're also on YouTube, Kandit News Group, and our viewers are bumping up in
on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then don't forget our website at www.candidnews.com.
If you scroll to the bottom of any of the pages of the website, you'll be able to enter your email address and press subscribe now. That will get you to see our news first. So we're using the website now to populate as the platform for the news for about 95% of the products we push out. So if you subscribe to our website, you'll get it first before Facebook, before WhatsApp.
And we also have a donate button there. So if you want to help Kandit out with their investigations or just want to feed us, you can always just donate money to us.
It says on the top, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny. I was getting feedback that there were certain people who we've been investigating who are asking who's funding them.
Yeah.
This is from the bottom of our heart facsimile. You know, you don't remember when I said I was coming after you? I mean, I keep my promises. My goodness, no one has to fund that. It's insulting.
We just want people to know that we really feel like Guam is not in a very good place right now, and what drives us is to at least try to get it to a better place, especially for our children. And Troy doesn't have children, so he probably wants Guam better for his dogs. But I know for a fact Troy enjoys my children as well. So I know part of that fight is for my kids too, and everyone else's kids. You know,
For everyone's kids. I actually do like kids, just not.
not on Halloween because he thinks they're the devil.
Oh my god.
We're gonna change it up this year. He's probably gonna go with us.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you
changing
are.
Anything up on Halloween?
He's gonna make the kids go trick or treating
I'm
and
not.
then take all their candy when
I
he
will
gets
do
here.
that. I'll do that. All right. Well, let's start first with what is going to be a staple on this show until this evil bitch is caught. Can we put up that car Tumon 3688? Thank you. This woman yesterday, a passerby was able to see that the woman driving this car hit a golden retriever that darted out into the road, and the owner was trying to catch the dog as it darted out into the road near Carbolito Elementary School. So first of all, she was supposed to have been driving at only 15 miles per hour in front of Carbolito Elementary School. That's first of all. Secondly, when she hit the dog, if she was going that slow, she had every occasion to stop right away. She probably had every occasion to not hit the dog if she was really driving at 15 miles per hour. But she Marlene Evelid it. She hit that dog. I'm not sure. I don't have any news about the condition of the dog. I hope the dog is okay. I hope the owner is okay. But so things happen, right? You things like that, they do happen. And sometimes you can't fault people, but a decent person would have stopped. But she didn't. Not only did she not stop, but she was on her cell phone and she was laughing as she drove away. And so she's just a fucking bitch in my eyes, and she deserves to. Never mind. But her license plate is Tumon 3688. We said it's a Hyundai, right? A Hyundai hatchback.
Yeah.
I wish I could see her ugly fucking face through that. So if you guys see this car, please call it in to the Guam Police Department at 472-8911. Tell them where this bitch is located on the road, and let them know that this is the one who hit the dog near Carbolito Elementary School, was likely speeding, and was definitely using her cell phone in violation of the law. Just, Tumon 3688. I think I'm going to design a graphic and put it up and pay for it as an ad on Kandit, and we never do that. But I just feel so strongly about this. I want this woman to pay restitution to the family of this dog, and I hate her. I don't even know who she is, and I hate her. Anyway, Tumon 3688, everyone. Hyundai white hatchback. She's a bitch. It's the weather now, right?
Yeah.
The weather? Well, let's start with the good stuff. Tropical storm something. Someone sent it to me, the latest, the name of the storm, as it's supposed to be from the Japan Meteorological Association. It's a Thai word. It's in one of our comments. I can't remember what it, but it's also difficult to pronounce. So there's a tropical storm that is heading toward the Mariana Islands. According to the latest from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, it has strengthened to 40 miles per hour, which is tropical storm strength. It was upgraded from a tropical depression earlier today. It is actually tracked toward us and intensified and begun to intensify from its infant stages all since last night. And so information has been moving very quickly today. It is traveling along a west-northwestward track, and it was, as of a couple of hours ago, 722 miles east-southeast of Guam. The current track, if you see that, so the light blue area that looks like a deformed thingy. Yes.
Etzung.
That's the entire track. The red line is the forecast.
That means the light blue. That means it can go anywhere in between there. Is that
inside that
light blue,
Yeah.
or you're gonna be receiving rain, right?
Depending on how big the feeder bands are of this storm. So that red line, what this track tells you is that red line can go anywhere to the south or to the north within that light blue area. So you see that Guam is on the southern perimeter of that light blue area. You see the smaller islands of northern Marianas, also in the northern segment of that light blue area. This track, though, or this forecast currently by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center shows that this storm sometime Monday or Tuesday will go almost directly over Tinian. It's going to be 1 mile north of Tinian, according to this latest from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, a few miles south of Saipan. It's going to have typhoon strength winds. As a matter of fact, according to the National Weather Service, it'll be a typhoon by the time it arrives in the Marianas, if the storm doesn't dissipate. And whether it hits Saipan, Tinian, Luta, or Guam has yet to be determined because it's still too young in the forecast to see exactly where it's going. It's still 722 miles southeast of the island. We did have the chance to speak with the Emergency Operations Center over at Homeland Security in the CNMI, and what they've told us is that Acting Governor Arnold Palacios at 3 p.m. today placed the CNMI in Typhoon Condition 3. Now, we have not heard anything from the Joint Information Center, if there is one, or the Emergency Operations Center, if there is one, at Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense. All of the information we've been getting regarding Guam has come from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center or from the National Weather Service. We highly doubt that the governor has placed the island in any condition of readiness because they just haven't sent any news. We tried to get a hold of Carlo Branch from the Guam governor's office earlier today to see if the governor is taking any action or if any action is warranted at this point from the government of Guam side. But at least with the government of the CNMI, we do know that Acting Governor Arnold Palacios has placed the islands in Typhoon Condition 3, and the CNMI government is having a heavy weather briefing with Governor Palacios at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll find out more whether that condition is upgraded over in the CNMI. But they, at this point, have a little more to worry about because of the storm passing. It may be a direct hit over Tinian. It's looking like that's what the forecast is showing right now. This tropical storm, as it is right now, is packing maximum sustained winds of about 40 miles per hour. The storm is moving, I believe, 18 miles per hour west-northwest. So Kandit has been tracking what now is a tropical storm since it was Invest 97W. And it was born somewhere south of the Marshall Islands, about 2,400 some miles southeast of Guam. And for about 4 days, it just started, it was just moving west-northwest. It wasn't intensifying. It was just something to watch. In the beginning, it was because we had a hunch that we would bring the information to the people and let people decide how to best prepare for this, if this was something to be prepared for. And then after a couple of days, the data started to show to us or to Barbara Brown, that this was going to be something.
Right.
And then the meteorological, my dog is going berserk, like Clarissa Luctil all over this floor. Yeah. Remember her photo? So after a couple of days, meteorologists have such a problem with that word, throughout the world began to pay attention to Invest 97W, and then it started to show signs of organization, and that it was going somewhere. So from late last night, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, which for the past 4 days had said that the chances or the potential for the development of a significant tropical cyclone within a 24-hour period was low. Late last night, they upgraded the chances to medium. And then early this morning, they upgraded the chances to high. And it all moved very quickly after that. All of a sudden, it became Tropical Depression 22W.
And that's how it works. That's how it rolls, Troy.
That's Mother Nature.
So if we don't watch this from the beginning stages, then we wouldn't have enough time. And whether we are blowing things out of proportion, or we are what do they call it?
Well, I think most people appreciate the updates.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
So we'll blow it. We are Kandit, and we will blow it wherever we want to blow it. Okay.
Where Mother Nature's blowing it.
So just like an asshole, everybody has one, right?
Mother Nature's blowing it.
Yeah.
You're saying Mother Nature's a whore or something.
Well, just everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
So just like an asshole.
Well, the opinions coming out of the CNMI government are, let's prepare our people.
Right. So they are. CNMI is in condition of readiness 3.
Well, they call it Typhoon Condition 3.
Okay.
Typhoon
Condition 3.
Yeah.
So we used to call it that, right?
Yes, and then they changed the
Then we
systems.
became the Joneses.
Yeah.
We became prim and proper.
We have the frou-frou condition of readiness now.
So let's pray for our brothers and sisters in the CNMI. If there's any way we can help, just let us know and we'll help.
Well, Guam's not out of the woods. We are in a tropical storm watch, which means that within, sometime Monday to Tuesday, Guam can expect damaging winds of 39 miles per hour or more when the typhoon makes its closest point of approach. What's so funny?
Nothing.
What did someone say?
Nothing.
Oh. Do I have a booger?
No. I was just reading our WhatsApp messages.
Okay. So we can expect damaging winds, which means, winds strong enough to make a difference here in a bad way for people if we're not prepared. That those are winds enough to knock out the power.
Right.
To cause, if there are heavy rains, it will cause water issues, drainage issues, backed up sewage,
more mosquitoes.
flooding, dengue alert. and so by no means should we believe we're out of the woods on this just because the storm is tracking north of us, or we have to have our guard up. And hopefully the storm dissipates, but if it doesn't, we need to be prepared.
Yes.
And Kandit will be here every minute of the day to get you those updates as soon as we can. If it gets to a point where we're going to see some landfall of the typhoon on Guam or anywhere in the Mariana Islands,
viewers of Kandit will be the first to know.
And we'll
trust me.
and we'll do another marathon live where we constantly bring you updates, but that will be as the storm makes its closest point of approach to the Mariana Islands. So now we're gonna take a few minutes of break.
I want to let people know something.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Prim, do you have the graphic with about the land scam?
Oh, this is
Okay.
our next thing.
Yeah, this is. We just want to let people know.
Oh, yeah,
what we're
yeah.
doing. Okay, we want to give them a
Who's
running start.
Who's the Lumpa Lumpa?
That's Mr. Les Dan Tidinko of the Tidinko clan. Think we have forgotten him. We are so very pleased to announce the upcoming investigative series on Mr. Dan Torgun Tidinko, called the Tidinko Land Scam. It's a very sad story, actually, and quite shocking. Our investigative reporting team is putting the final touches on the inaugural piece, and we will be exposing this deceitful enlitless for what he really is. Stay tuned, Kandit family, for our next expose, the Dan Tidinko Land Scam.
Of the Tidinkos. I just love Jacob Nakamura and his reporting.
I love giving them a head start. Hey. Those are the best,
When they see us coming.
We don't go behind your back and go after you. Hey, we're coming for you. In your face. Get ready.
Yeah. You guys wanted us sober, so here we are. Here we are. This is
Fucking
us.
sober as fuck.
Hashtag I was nice on ice. But this is credit to Jacob Nakamura, our seasoned and senior investigative reporter on
boss.
the field.
The motherfucking boss.
Yeah. Good old Jacob Nakamura. Good old Jake. We'll have more on that. And we're still in the middle of the Blood Money series.
Oh, we are.
Oh, we're not.
This is just the
We're
beginning.
far from done on the Blood Money series. And we're actually going to have more on that, plus something about the Chamorro Land Trust Commission coming up after our break.
We'll give him a 20. I don't know if you're actually in line.
So you found something earlier
Yes,
today.
in the Post.
Okay.
It is by Mindy Uggan at the Guam Daily Post. Parties prepare for trial and bias suit filed by Justice. And this is the Department of Justice who filed lawsuit against Chamorro Land Trust.
Oh, it's saying that it was
Commissioners.
illegal, right?
Yes.
The land trust itself is illegal.
And then I was reading and I kept reading and reading, and then I got down to the part. CLTC attorney Mike Phillips said the government of Guam's position. And right there, when did Mike Phillips become the attorney for Chamorro Land Trust? I want to know why he's there, who hired him.
Was he hired in this administration?
I don't think he's been the Chamorro Land Trust. I don't think he was the attorney. Has he always been the attorney for Chamorro Land Trust?
I don't know. This is news to me. When you told me this just a few, right before the show started, I was like, I had no idea that he was the attorney. Why would they have a sleazeball like him to be the attorney for the Chamorro? Do we not understand what he's done at the Port Authority?
We understand. We know.
Look at his greasy hair. Calacas. Calacas.
Apparently he's all up in it. I want to know who hired him. I want to know if we're going to be billed 25 hours in one day for Chamorro Land Trust.
That's exactly the point. Let me bring something up, because I think people should be reminded of the kind of barbaridades that this guy was up to that cost the taxpayers $7 million in legal fees over a 7-year period. Mainly fighting against 7 classified employees, trying to keep them from getting their jobs back when they were wrongfully terminated, and doing a lot of damage against 7 people who were not political foes or anything. They just, Mike Phillips, Joe Man Brown, Dan Taidenko, and all that crew were so hell-bent on getting rid of these 7 people that they broke the law several times in order to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. And now that Francine Rocio, who's one of the 7 employees at the Port Authority, is on the verge of getting her job back, and the case that she won in the Civil Service Commission is precedent-setting for the other 5, because Jojo Guevara got his job back already. So for the other 5, in getting them in the reversal of their adverse actions, their firings from the Port Authority, and probably most likely their recompense for all the suffering that they've gone through. I'm sorry, that's not even for the suffering they've gone through. For the wages they've lost, this is not even to begin to consider the punitive damages that they can seek against the Port Authority for their wrongful termination. And it was Mike Phillips who was behind the whole thing. So that's crazy. Why would the Chamorro Land Trust Commission or whoever appointed him to be the attorney?
Well, we need to remind the governor, Mike Phillips didn't even support her.
Yeah,
he supported Frank
Uggan.
Uggan all the way through.
I remember that.
Even in his writing campaign, he was the one, Mike Phillips was the one who did his audio and stage for all his events for Frank Uggan.
Maybe the governor didn't. Maybe this was a holdover from Governor Eddie Calvo.
I don't know, but we need to find out.
That's crazy. That's crazy that this guy would be anywhere near the current administration, considering all the damage that he's already done. Now, I'm trying to get... hold on one second while I get out this information. I'm sorry. There was a letter. We talked about this letter before from Senator Mary Torres, where she goes into some good detail about the bad things that Mike Phillips has done.
And don't forget the audio file that we have.
Oh, you know what? Let's play that audio file, and let me give you. That's right.
And this is a reminder. Let's remind CLTC, the AG, and the administration that not only is he corrupt and he doesn't give a shit about the open government law, he also thinks he knows better than anyone. Ironically, since the trial for the Gura board, doing the same thing.
That's right. He's the attorney. He's the attorney for one of the people who is under the gun for violations of the open government law that led to a lot of corruption over at Gura with federal funding from the LIHTC program.
And this is an audio file off of the Patty Arroyo show.
So this was when, I believe this is when Mike Phillips was trying to justify how it was that the port could meet on December 10 without ever notifying the public of
Yeah.
this board
Can you
meeting.
explain what the open government law means?
Yeah, it's very simple. If I'm not mistaken, I think Joanne Brown is the author of the open government law.
They have to. They
if
need to
I'm not
put it out
mistaken.
that they're going to have a meeting, right?
Yeah,
Two-
this is the one that says in 5 working days before any meeting, you need to notice the public and the media.
right.
And then within 48 hours of that meeting happening, you need to give a second notice. And they didn't do any of this. What they did
Right.
was send an email. They sent an email to the members of the board of directors of the Port Authority of Guam sometime, I believe it was December 9, 2012, that there would be a meeting inside Attorney Mike Phillips' office on December 10, 2012. And when board member Shelley Gibson asked, what should we bring to this meeting? Dan Tidinko responded, how about a grave digger? Because the focus of that meeting, that's the meeting where they were going to decide that they were going to get rid of the Port 7.
Right.
And they did this all in the cover of darkness. So let's hear what Mike Phillips told Patty Tidinko.
Patty Arroyo.
Patty Arroyo. Sorry, Patty. What Mike Phillips told Patty Arroyo on her show when she was really grilling him about how can you say that this was a legal meeting. Let's hear it now.
Could you tell me under what context there was a meeting of members of the board in your
Right.
office?
Yeah.
What was the reasoning for that, and why would you have allowed something like that to happen if it was a board meeting?
Yeah, it was a meeting in the sense that they were there, and I'll tell you, and I'll try and keep it short. I was defending one of the defendants involved in the Gore board, so my opinion is still that while it's not illegal, I understand the AG's aggressive kind of prophylactic approach that just don't even get together, guys. So that's the debate. There was no action taken. There was no vote. If you were to count heads, yes, there was a quorum, and it's just what you saw in the email. It was urgent, and so nobody advised the PDM. They didn't say let's meet in 5 days and see what we can do about this. There was a patient that was portrayed to the board needing surgery on Monday, and somebody was end running the board. And so on the one hand, if you look at anything in the 25th and on, you'll see they had concern for the person that was portraying to need that kind of urgent medical service, and on the other hand, what appeared to be complete violation of law. And so, yeah, no question. They said, let's get together and look at everything, and they did. Nothing was done, and nothing. There was no action taken except for an invitation to go down to the port and review the file. And when we went down there, my associate went down there. There was nothing. There was a file, but there was nothing in it. And
So you're saying that when they all gathered at your office, it still is a quorum. I mean, you counted it as a quorum. Maybe no action was taken, but discussion is action.
Yeah, there was discussion, and I'm telling you, Patty, like I said, I'm very familiar with the law because I was defending someone for a long time. It's not that simple. If you're asking me, would you do it again? No, I would not do it again. You're asking me what happened, so I'm telling you what happened.
Okay, but were there meetings?
No question about it.
All right, were there minutes?
It's never been disputed.
Were there minutes from that meeting though?
No, it's never been disputed that people came to my office and looked at what little we had.
Yeah.
And the report from Mary. Mary was making a report as to what happened. And of course, obviously the record shows that what she was representing really is not consistent with the actual
Okay,
fact.
and so there were there meetings, minutes that were taken with Shelley taking minutes of that meeting that was in your office?
No,
Okay, all right.
no meetings.
All right.
It was very informal.
Now, at the time that this conversation with Patty Arroyo happened, first of all, the Calvo administration was still in power. Secondly, Patty didn't know, because of course Mike Phillips didn't tell her, that there were 6 other documented meetings held in Mike Phillips' office that were not noticed to the public. There was a total of at least 7 violations of the open government law, and those the people who called for these meetings were the ones who should be prosecuted under the open government law, especially if they were in government service anytime over the last 3 years, because that's the statute of limitations for official misconduct. Now, this happened at a time, this conversation happened at a time when Mike Phillips was still in power, so to speak, right? And it's ever since the Lulian Guerrero administration has taken office, he's been a little more quiet, but it's not.